I'm exploring an abandoned mine from the early 1900s, long ago flooded by groundwater. Nature has taken it back. It's deep, mysterious, and dangerous, but for me, it's irresistible. What could be lurking beneath these deep green waters, hiding in giant forests of hydrilla? Are the alligators that live here shy, or more prone to attack? And will darkness reveal its true nature? I am Manny Puig. I have spent my whole life learning to survive like Tarzan in the most dangerous and primitive wilderness, where you can be killed or eaten. I have learned the ways of giant, man-eating predators, deadly sharks and reptiles, where every encounter may spell disaster in the savage wild. This may look like a lake, a big lake, but it's actually a quarry. It's a man-made hole, a man-made lake. It used to be a phosphate mine in the 1930s. It's dug out in the middle of a wilderness area. This is surrounded by swamps and woods everywhere. So there's a lot of fish in here, there's wildlife all over the place, there's alligators in here. Keep in mind that the alligators that wander in here come from a wild area. They have zero contact with people. I have no idea how they're gonna react. Are they gonna be shy? Are they gonna be aggressive? Are they gonna attack? I'm here to find out. Take into account that the fish are in here were not put in here. They come in here naturally through the aquifers, the underwater tunnels. They come from nearby swamps and lakes and creeks, and they make their way in here. Also, the edges are full of cattails. Plenty of hiding places for fish and alligators and snakes. And it's also deep. So you have shallow water and deep water come in contact, which creates a very unique situation, very interesting for wildlife and fish. This is to keep the mess from fogging up. You don't have soap, you spit in it. Put on gloves in case I run into a fish that I want to touch or handle. Fish has spines on them. That's the main reason. For handling an alligator, I prefer not to have a glove on because I can feel the skin better and I can touch it. They got like a nice gentle leather down here, down their bellies. They don't. If they're gentle, they don't. Sometimes if you squeeze down, if he shakes real hard, he'll rip the flesh off your the flesh from your thumbnail away from you. If you grab an alligator and you're sitting also and he shakes, your hands are popped open and you're bleeding out of every one of your fingers. The water in this rock quarry is green and cloudy from decaying hydrilla. As I make my way to the bank, I can already see that finding large alligators in here will be like finding a needle in a haystack. There are signs of alligators, large tunnels in the hydrilla, but the plants are so dense, you could be 1 foot away and not know it. This is the first time I have explored one of these abandoned mines. Because they are on private property, the wildlife is totally isolated. I'm always fascinated by how isolated environments affect behavior of wildlife, especially the predators. This quarry is deep, 40 to 50 feet at least. I dive down to explore the bottom. The decaying hydrilla and silt has reduced the visibility to only a few yards. There are fish, bass, perch, and cichlids that have made their way in through the underground aquifer. Even down deep, there's a jungle of hydrilla, and as you get near the shore, it's a high forest. It is a green jungle of hydrilla. it goes into where the cattails are. There's tunnels inside there. There's a million places for big fish and alligator to hide. I mean, giant dinosaurs could hide in here. What appears to be a barren desert will reveal its secrets with darkness. When violent predators, monsters that go bump in the night, are prowling. I told Queta we gotta get out of here before it kills us. This may be my most dangerous mission yet, but this is the only way I can learn about these isolated alligators. They just want chaos in there. This abandoned mine from the early 1900s holds countless mysteries. What is lying on the bottom, buried in silt and decaying hydrilla? There are plenty of places for large alligators to hide. This rock quarry is deeper than any natural lake in Florida. Except for a few small fish, it seems barren. Will nightfall reveal its secrets? That's an example of the equipment, mining equipment has been left out here. There's probably a bunch of it sunk down here in the bottom, but the silt is so deep down there, it's accumulated over the years, that it could be 30 feet under silt, whatever is down there.
They were just a very, very dangerous place in the early 1900s. That's why they are all so protected now, and normally they're all on private property surrounded by fences and stuff because they're such a liability to people. People don't realize how deep these things are and how dangerous they are.
When this was being dug, once they hit a certain depth into the ground, this is Florida, whatever, so right away you're gonna hit the water level, and the water's gonna start sipping in from the aquifer from below. You dig a hole anywhere, it's like creating a giant well. It's gonna fill up with water. And so this is pretty deep. There are very deep places in here. I don't know exactly how deep it is. They could be mining equipment in here. They could be bodies down here. Anything could have fallen in here.
There's a crane in here somewhere. There's an entire crane in here. So if you can hide a crane in here and not know where it is, you can imagine how many people could fall in here and drown.
I'm interested in all the wildlife here, but mainly the alligators. I want to know what their habits are like in this area. Are they coming in from other areas? Are they isolated in here? Have they been exposed to humans? Are they going to be shy or aggressive towards humans? I'm here to find out. I'm sure large alligators are here, but where are they? They seem to be completely hidden, so I have my work cut out for me. The banks of this quarry are almost vertical. They've been dug out with heavy equipment. Finding anything here is going to be tough, so I keep moving. I find nothing but small fish and mountains of hydrilla. Hydrilla is actually a non-native plant, and Florida's waterways are choked with it. In most rivers and lakes, they use special fish, insects, and even chemicals to control it. But here, it has been allowed to grow unchecked for years. It's like a dense, tangled jungle, hiding everything from view. There are stories of people drowning in this rock quarry and disappearing forever. It's easy to imagine. Once something sinks into this jungle of weeds, good luck finding it. After searching the bottom for hours, I decide that nightfall is my only chance of finding alligators. But I haven't seen anything. I have covered every inch of this rock quarry. All around the edges, in the middle, there's a jungle hydrilla on the bottom. There's a few small fish around it. It is like one big ghost town, a desert. I'm gonna have to wait till nightfall and search with a light at night, see if I find any. This place may actually come to life. There may be enormous alligators out here. Once the night falls, I'll be able to find them. Here they're here. It looks so peaceful out here at night, but in the darkness, now it could be a very violent world down there. diving in this dense jungle of plants. At night, in murky water, it is as dangerous as it gets. This is a perfect place for an ambush predator to take down prey. This is an extreme test of nerve. But I need to know, how will these isolated alligators behave when confronted with a human? I am exploring a flooded mine, dug in the early 1900s, long ago abandoned. These old mines are found all over Florida and are extremely dangerous. Full of mining equipment, water moccasins, and alligators. I have spent the day searching for predators. There are signs they have been here, but so far nothing but small fish and mountains of hydrilla. As darkness settles in, I wonder what we will find beneath these murky waters. It's a small crescent moon, which is good. The darker the better, because that means that the reflection from the alligator's eyes will be better when you put a light on them. I had a feeling there were alligators out here. All day long I didn't see any, but as soon as the nightfall came, we already found the 10-footer right over there on the edge.
What we're seeing there is an eye of an alligator. By the color of it and the space in between his eyes, appears to be an alligator between 8 and 10 foot range.
His eyes are glowing red, and you can even see when he blinks. Cueta and I get set. Every encounter with a dangerous predator is unpredictable. But this is like going in blindfolded. We could be surprised from any angle. As we slowly approach the alligator, we can see him with our lights, hanging motionless on the surface. But he suddenly turns and swims off into the dark tangled forest of hydrilla on the bank. I can see a trail of debris where he went in. Following him in there is almost suicide. But we continue to scan the weeds, hoping to find him. And we get lucky. He is lying motionless in the hydrilla and allows us to approach him. This is a 10-foot alligator in perfect condition. I can see his pupils clearly through the protective membrane. This is the size of alligator, responsible for most of the attacks on humans. He could easily make a meal out of one of us, but he allows us to carefully study him. I am surprised at how calm and motionless he stays, but this is all new to him. So he may not feel threatened, even with the lights flashing all around him. He's a beautiful specimen, dark and heavy-bodied, very well fed. I decide to levitate him to see how he reacts. But he bolts off with the slightest touch of my hand. We found them. We finally were able to get close to one of them. They're very, very spooky. Cueta got a lot of video on him. He was probably between 9 and 10 feet long, I would say. Yeah, it was a nice gator, really good colors. You could see his eyes, the membrane, the nictitating membrane in the eye was very clear. You could see his pupil perfectly. I was looking at him. He just sat there motionless. He was so covered in weeds, I wanted to lift him a little so you could see his teeth and all that better, but phew, then he bolted. But we had him there for a long time. It's 10 times more dangerous, 1,000 times more dangerous. I told Cueta we gotta get out of here before it kills us. Whoa! I am exploring an abandoned mine, long ago flooded and full of mystery. In the day, it was like a barren desert, full of mountains of hydrilla. But monsters are appearing in the darkness. Already I've encountered a 10-foot alligator. And I can sense more out there, waiting in the murky water. How will these isolated alligators behave? Will they attack us or shy away? I'm searching for answers in this nightmare of tangled weeds. Only minutes after encountering a 10-foot alligator on the bank, we have discovered another, swimming on the surface in deep water, heading for the cattails. Once again, Quet and I slipped silently over the side. And this time, I decided to go deep into the cattails to find him.
Are you pulling him out?
There's the end of his tail. I can tell this is a very large alligator. And as I gently lift his tail, he explodes away. And that was such a difficult situation for me. All of a sudden I saw his tail right there. Right there, beautiful. I know it's a very large alligator. I could see his tail, so now I quit to come in there and video his tail. But we couldn't, his head's right there, you can't see nothing. So what I did is I put my hand gently underneath his tail, and I slowly lifted it, and then all of a sudden he just started turning around in there, and it was just like, it just went chaos in there. I told Quet that we gotta get out of here before it kills us. But yeah, he took off from the jungle out there into the middle of the lake. So we're gonna go back out here, see if we can approach him in open water. Yeah, that was so thick back there. To locate him in deeper water, we hang on to the back of the boat as it tows us along. He's on the surface, just ahead of the boat. When he goes in the cattails, let's keep track exactly where he went.
I got it.
As we drop off to look for him, he turns and heads straight for us.
He's coming right to you. He's coming right to you.
This is a direct challenge. But then, like in a scene from a monster movie, he sinks out into 50 feet of water. I dive after him, hoping to catch up to him. We find him at 40 feet. He's huge and in no mood for games. I decide it's too dangerous to approach him, and we head back to the surface. What makes it so dangerous in this quarry at night is tracking these alligators in the hydrilla and in the cattails. Not only is it dark, you can't see in there. So you're feeling your way through, and then maybe 1 inch at a time, 1 inch at a time. And then when you do find them, the alligator is completely enclosed and you're enclosed. Both of you are stuck together in these cattails. So if he explodes in there and he comes your way, you can't get out of the way, there's nothing you can do. You're literally gonna both be like this in the cattails. So when he explodes, he's pushing through and pushing, you don't even know what's going on. It's chaos. And then, in the depth down there, in the darkness, in the deep, you don't want to get bit by an alligator down there because you will drown. If he holds you down there, you will drown for sure. If you get attacked by an alligator at 40 feet down, that's not good. Yeah. At 3 a.m. in the morning, I discover a 6-foot alligator near the bank. I decide to capture him for an even closer inspection. I have been working with alligators my entire life, and this is extremely dangerous. But I want to learn as much as I can about the alligators that live here. Okay, usually when I hold an alligator, hold him like this, it keeps him from spinning back way, this way or this way, so he can swing this way or this way and bite me. See, his mouth is wide open right now. Yeah, the reason I picked him up, I couldn't show him. You know, it was too much. We couldn't get no video on him. Too much hydrilla. I can't see him, but I wanted to see one up close. Hold out his tail. Whoa! Got him? Got it. Almost got my face. Okay, pick it up again. Pull his tail out. Okay, just want to show him. Okay, I'm gonna let him go. Put his tail down.
Got his mouth open.
Yeah. All right. Back away, please. Matt, right now, we'll take your foot off. And now you're that big, we'll take your hand off. Well, it went from a ghost town to the Wild Wild West. As soon as the sun went down, this place became alive, and it became savage, and it became wild. But I've learned so much about the nature of alligators living in this rock quarry. They're unique because they're isolated. But are they more dangerous or aggressive? Possibly. But I also believe they are less cautious about humans. But what an amazing adventure. And I'm glad you were here to experience it with me.